Okay, so tonight is Tu Bishvat, and Tu Bishvat is one of the 4 Rosh Hashanah, a new beginning. Apparently, it's a new beginning for the trees. But in the few minutes that we have now, I want to show something amazing. The Torah compare, for completely different reason, a human being to a tree. It's actually mentioned in Sefer Dvarim when, at the time when Bnei Israel went to Eretz Israel to conquer Eretz Israel, Hashem gave them instructions about how to conduct the war. So one of the things that if you putting a siege on a city in order to conquer it, you are not allowed, the Torah says, to cut off the trees, if that fruitful trees. It says, I'll quote the words from the Torah, לא תשחית את עצה לנדוח עליו גרזן. You're not allowed to cut off the trees, כי ממנו תאכל, because you eat from it, ואותו לא תכרות, כי האדם עץ השדה, לבוא מפניך במצור. And it's very interesting that האדם עץ השדה, meaning there is a comparison, some kind of comparison between a human being to the tree. If we're going deeper to this, when Hashem created Adam, in the beginning of history, it says before he created Adam, that Hashem planted a garden. You all heard about the Garden of Eden, right? So it says, Vayita Hashem Elokim gan be'eden mikedem. Hashem plants different kind of trees in this garden. Vayasem sham et ha'adam asher yatzar. After Hashem created Adam, he put him there. It means that the place of a human being is in a garden with trees. And the Torah mentioned the names of the trees. Was many trees under the title Kol etz nechmad lemar'eh v'tov lema'achal. Beautiful trees. That was the category number 1. Many trees under this category. Then there is another category with 1 tree only. And this tree is in the middle of the garden. The name is very interesting. Etz hachayim betoch hagan. The tree of life. In the middle. Betoch, batavech. In between. In the middle. But next to it was another tree. Category number 3 also include only 1 tree with a very unusual name. Etz hada'at tov vara. A tree of knowledge or differentiation between good and bad, negative and positive. We'll not go into it, but just remember this, that Hashem put Adam there in this garden. Actually, few psukim later, few verses later, it says that Hashem put Adam there. Why? Le'ovda u'leshomra. It seems apparently that he need a gardener after he have a garden, right? So he created Adam in order to be the gardener of the garden. But it's much, much, much deeper. The tree of life. The tree of life is the tree that Adam's supposed to eat from it before he ate from Etz Hadat Tov Hara. Hashem told him, don't eat from Etz Hadat Tov Hara, the tree of knowledge of differentiation between good and bad. But if he was not eating from this tree, he's supposed to eat from the tree of life. What is the tree of life? Tree of life is tree that give the one who eat from it an existence forever. This is the meaning of this tree. Now, if we go to Adam, we'll find out that Adam himself is a tree. Tree has fruits, right? Adam also has fruits. 3 kinds of fruits every human being could have. His deeds, action. You do things, yeah? You're producing things. You have a free will. You can choose this way, that way. Whatever you do is your choice, is your fruit, You are like a tree that produces things, actions. Those actions could be good actions or not good actions. Another thing is, of course, obviously, children. Children are your fruit. Another thing is students. When you teach and give and nurture spiritually people, those are your fruits. Now, in the Kabbalah books, based on a pasuk in Tehillim, David HaMelech, the first chapter in Tehillim, the first chapter says like this: Ashrei haish asher lo halach ba'atzat reshaim ובדרך חטאים לא עמד. Lucky or praise to this kind of person who, when he lives in this world, follow the right path. He didn't go with the wicked. He didn't go with those people who do not good things. Kim betorat Hashem chefzo. And here we could ask, how do you know what's good and what's not good? You know, values are... People argue about values. What's the right thing? What's the not right thing? For certain people to do something is certain type of things are the best, is the right values. But other society will look at it like it's just the opposite of right. So there are a lot of arguments about what's the right way to live and what's the right values. We know that the Jewish people claim, and all the nations of the world agree with this, that the Creator Himself gave us instructions what's right and what's wrong. And this is the Torah. Right? Everyone in the world heard about the revelation at Sinai. It's mentioned in Sefer Shemot in Exodus, and all the Christians knows about it, all the Muslims, everyone. So it's an amazing thing that everyone agreed that the only nation in the world that God Himself was facing them face to face and gave them instructions are the Jews. So after that, we are not debating anymore what's right, what's wrong, because the Creator Himself, who knows better than Him what's right, what's wrong, and He gave us the instructions. So it says in Tehillim that the person who is not going in the ways of the wicked, Ki im betorat Hashem chefzo, that he wants to do what Hashem gave us in the Torah. Now David HaMelech in Tehillim, King David says the following: V'haya ke'etz shatul al palgei mayim. He will be like a tree. So you see, David HaMelech says, it's not just Ki Adam Etz HaSadeh in Sefer Dvarim that relate to something else. But David HaMelech says that any person who is connected to the right things, which is the instruction from God, he is like a tree. Etz shatul al palgei mayim, but here he gives more things about this tree. He is planted on a source of water. Plants need water in order to exist. Asher piryo yiten beito, and he give out its fruits in its time. Asher piryo yiten beito, ve'aleu lo yibol, and the leaves will not fall. And v'chol asher yaseh yatzliach. Everything that he will do, if he will do this in the right way, will be successful. That's Tehillim. That's David HaMelech. Now, again, there is so much to say. I will try to put it in the time that we have. In a way, Adam is a tree, but it's a turnover tree. Usually the roots of the tree is in the ground, right? Under the ground. And the tree comes from it. In the Kabbalah, it says that Adam is a tree, but he is just, the roots of him is not in the ground, but in the heaven, in the sky. So it's like tree that comes from up, down. So the root is there, the neshama, the soul, and the soul is in the body, and the neshama with the body produce the fruits. If we will go and try to compare, what do we need to do in order to grow upright ourselves and to live our life and the fruits? So we could find few things. You know what, I'll just, in brief, will relate to the Shivat Aminim that we just did, brachot on them. You know, Eretz Israel, the land of Israel, has seven species of fruits that they are the best. Eretz, chita useora, wheat and barley, geffen, grapes, te'ena, figs, rimon, pomegranate, olives, and dates. The dvash has come from the dates. Okay? When Bnei Israel first came to Eretz Israel, first time, after Yetziat Mitzrayim, they sent their spies, right? Remember? And the spies went, and Moshe Rabbeinu told them, when you go, bring for us, after you check out how to conquer the country and whatever, what's the regular job of spies, Moshe Rabbeinu asked them, bring some fruits. And they brought. What they brought, the Meraglim. The Meraglim didn't bring the entire Shivat Aminim, but they bring 3 out of the 7. What they bring?
Grapes.
They brought anavim. It was a big grapes that Vaisa'u bamot b'shnayim. 2 people need to carry those grapes. Te'enim, figs, verimonim. Rimon, which is pomegranate. Only 3 out of the 7. So here's the things that mentioned in the Kabbalah about this is very, very deep things. At the time of Shlomo HaMelech, years after, which was the top, the highest state of Jews ever in the history, was no war, what Bet HaMikdash was, Shlomo HaMelech was, his name was Shlomo, meaning Shalom, Shlemut, complete. And he built Bet HaMikdash, and everyone in the world heard about the wisdom of Shlomo HaMelech. That was the best time ever in our history. It says that the Jews at the time, Yashvu ish tachat gafno ve'ish tachat te'enato. They were sitting peacefully under their grapes, the vineyards, and the fig trees. Why 2? See, we have Shivat Aminim. The Meraglim brought only 3, which is geffen, te'ena, verimon, grapes, figs, and pomegranate. And then we find out that the best time of the Jewish history was when everyone was sitting under their vineyards, grapes, and te'enato. The depth about those 3. Each one of the Shivat Aminim has a lot of meaning, but let's emphasize on those 3. There is something very, very special about te'ena, fig. What's so special about it? It's 100% edible. No peels that you throw, no seeds that you throw, 100% edible. Meaning it's 100% fruit. Te'ena. The geffen has something even deeper than this. There is a revealed part and the hidden part. The revealed part is the fruit itself, the grape, right? What's the hidden? The wine that you take from inside out. I mean, it's a potential there. You could just eat it the way it is, but you could squeeze it and get the wine. In Hebrew, yain, the number of the letters, yud, yud, nun. Yud is 10. Another yud is another 10, 20. The nun is 50. Together is 70. Now 70 has a very significant meaning in Judaism. It's the 7th day of the creations plus 10, which is the 70 members in the Sanhedrin, the 70 nations of the world, the 70 angels of the nations of the world up there. There is a lot of things around the 70. The Supreme Court in the Jewish nation is 70. It's 7 times 10. Yain is 70. Secret in Hebrew, how do you say it? Sod. Sod are 6, Samech is 60, Vav is 66, and then the Dalet, which is another 4, makes it 70. So there is a verse in Hebrew, Nichnas yain yatsa sod. If someone drinks too much wine, all the inner thing that usually there are filters to not let them go out, comes out. Right? So the yain and the sod are connected. And the Maharal says, because the yain is something that's not obvious, it's hidden within the grape. You have to take it from inside out. Therefore, when it's gone to the person, it comes to the inner part of the person and take the inside out. Nichnas yain yatsa sod. So we have to know that the real sod is the secret of Hashem. The secret of Hashem is how and why He created the universe. And this is in the Kabbalah. The entire Kabbalah deal with this. The hidden part of the Torah, the sod. So in the Perot Eretz Yisrael, you have the Geffen. And the Geffen has the outside of it, which is the Nigle, the things that you reveal, the revealed things, and the hidden part. This is the meaning of the grape. What is the meaning of the pomegranate? The pomegranate has in it many, many little thingies, right? You know how many? 613. And this is the Taryag Mitzvot. So you find out the secrets or the meaning behind those 3 things. The te'ena is 100% fruit. No garbage, no extra, everything is edible. That's the ultimate fruit. That everything is edible. The grape has the inner and the inside and the outside part. The secret there. And the pomegranate are the mitzvot. Now this is part of the meaning of 3 out of the 7 mitzvot. Okay, of the 7 species that Eretz Yisrael. Now let's do the comparison. Listen, this is a practical thing. I do not want just to stay in the philosophy. Practically, what we could learn, what we could take from Tu Bishvat. Tu Bishvat is the celebration of the tree. Double meaning, the tree that you have on the tables, and you. And now, what we could learn from it, the comparison. First of all, any tree, in order to stay alive, need what? Water. Where's water coming from? The Shamayim. So that's a physical tree. What about us? We need water. What is water? Torah. Where's it coming from? Shamayim. In order for the tree to stay healthy and grow right, you need a gardener, right? That will make sure that it's growing right. Every human being needs a gardener, which is a person that could direct them to do the right things. So that's another thing. Now, the good fruits. We want good fruits. We have to know what to do, how to do. What's the right actions? We said 3 kinds of fruits. Our deeds, our action, our children, and our students. So we have to know that it's very, very responsible. You know, you want your children to grow up right. You have to make sure that they will be watered. You have to make sure that all the things that could damage them, like animals and things like this, you could make sure that they will be away from it. Another thing, very important, in order for a tree to grow or to exist, he has to be connected to its roots, right? You disconnect it from the roots, finished. In order for us to stay what we should be, we have to be connected to our roots. And it's not automatic in these days. Many people cut off from the roots. They're not connected to the roots. Okay? Another thing, very important, in order for the tree or any plants to grow, you need the right climates around. Climate. There are many things that just push us away, even if we are good, but you know, the environment influence us. Tu Bishvat is the time. What's special about this particular day? Because in Eretz Israel, this is exactly the middle of the winter. Exactly. The heaviest time, you know, there are 4 seasons in Eretz Israel, 4 seasons. So the season of the winter started in Chodesh Tevet. Tevet, Shvat, Adar. 3 months. We have 12 months, right? Tevet, Shvat, Adar. Tu Bishvat is just the middle of the winter. It's the 15 days that from it on, it's the second part of the winter. What happened at this time in Eretz Israel by the fruits? It started to become alive again. You know, in the winter, there is shalechet. How do you say shalechet in English? It's fall, of course. Everything falling. And it seems like dead things, right? And then in Tu Bishvat, inside, not completely outside, you know, ashkediya porachat. It start to grow. It start to show again a sign of life in Tu Bishvat. So this is the time of growth, of growing. This is Tu Bishvat. Now another very important thing, and with this probably we'll finish this introduction to Tu Bishvat. When we talk about kids, not just about kids, but especially about kids, we said again, 3 things: our action, our children, and our students. When you plant a plant in your garden, let's say a tree, right? Still very, very young. It could go straight up and grow healthy, or sometimes it's going this way. What do you do in order to make sure that it will grow up straight? You put a stick next to it, right? Therefore, it will grow straight. When could you do that? Only when the plant is very, very young. Then you could still influence the way it grows. But if it's grew already and it's become thick, you could not make it straight. And if you will do it, it will break. So it's very, very important to not get habits. After you got the habits, it's very hard to change. When you have children, when they're young, you could instructions, direct them, they will grow right. Afterwards, it will be very, very hard, if possible at all, because it might break it. So we could learn all of this from the tree, compare it to us, to take practical learning from Tu Bishvat. And every Tu Bishvat is a new beginning of think about all of this and relate to ourselves as trees. Many things could be learned from this. The main strive of a human being is to grow, like the tree, like the tzmicha of the tree. We have domem, tzomea, chai, medaber. The medaber, a human being, has in it all of the qualities of the things under him. But Tu Bishvat, we're talking about the tzmicha, about flourishing, about growing. So this is Tu Bishvat. This is part of the things, very small part of the thing that we could say about Tu Bishvat. But in this particular time, I think we conclude over here. Think about it. I hope everything could get something good from the things we just learned. Apply it to their life, and Be'ezrat Hashem will grow. Okay?
Please, everybody, let's wash and then come right back, and then we're going to fill our wine cups with white.